collection surviving this year?
Well, we're doing very well. Actually, the collection is doing very well. We're holding our own with our sales, which says a lot. And a lot of other companies cannot say the same thing. So we're very happy about our positioning where we are right now. But even more importantly, we were just acquired, and the board of directors just approved the acquisition of a company called Thoranko of Greg Norman Collection. Very, very positive for us in many aspects, because it gives us the opportunity to use a company now that's in the $250 million range as a fashion industry company, so we can use all their back of house and all their distribution, which is great for us, and that gives us the opportunity for a faster global expansion. And even though in this climate right now, everybody's saying, what are you talking about expanding, but you got to be ready. This economy's going to change. Everybody's going to get their feet back on the ground, and you got to be on the ground, boots running as that happens. So from my perspective, I'm just very, very proud for Greg Norman Collection that, given this climate, that a company as strong as Thoranko identified how strong our brand is, the penetration that we have, and obviously came out and acquired us today.
Wow, that's great news.
Yeah, very good news.
Tell me, in terms of your collection, are you adapting the collection to fit the economic prospects that are coming up right now?
Oh, absolutely we do. I mean, you have to be very, very considerate, and you have to consolidate in a lot of ways. And we get the feedback. We get the feedback from our distributors. We get the feedback from the consumer that tells us what's really happening. We sell what's selling through and what's not selling through, so we know. So you got to sit back, and Mike Satola, he's got to sit back, and he runs a company, and he identifies what SKUs to bring offline and consolidate from that aspect. So yeah, as long as you are being proactive and not reactive to the situation, you can weather the storm. And all that is just good business sense and sticking by your principles and making sure that whatever guidelines you set down for yourself in tough times, that you follow through with those. And tough times are tough times, there's no question about it. But at the same time, when you look around and you see a lot of other companies folding their tent or going Chapter 11, we here at Greg Norman Collection go, well, thank you. Obviously, we've got a good positioning for our brand and a good positioning in the marketplace.
In terms of the wider economic picture, you're involved in many golfing businesses right across the globe. How are you actually faring there?
It's tough. If anybody tells you they're doing great at this climate, I'm sure there are people making money, but I don't know in what direction, but it's tough. Again, you got to think out of the box. There are pockets of golf course design opportunities around the globe. America is dead, I can tell you that, just dead flat. Nothing out there. Maybe a couple of redos come on the market, but that's about it. Nothing, any substantial development of golf course construction, but there are pockets, like I said. China's still there, Vietnam is there, even though, if you're in the market, you're in the market. So be ready and think out of the box. A lot of these companies now who are looking forward to building, they're looking forward to the second, third quarter before making any strategic decisions about where they're going to go. And because a lot of them are public companies, and perception is now you can't spend your money. You got to keep the cash, but they're all ready to go. They're all sitting on a time frame of, okay, we're going to jump back into it. So again, same with what we did with Greg Norman Collection, and I'm doing with my company, Great White Shark Enterprises. Stay the course, tuck in your belt a little bit, and make sure you really manage everything. Revenues are going to drop, margins are going to drop. You got to drop your expenses at the same time. So you got to make the system work. But we'll come back. Everything will come back. The whole world will come back. It's just sad we're in the situation. There's hundreds of thousands, millions of people out there who are watching this show that have all been affected. Everybody on this planet has been affected to some degree. And so we have to figure out, I'm old enough to have been through a couple of recessions. You're old enough to have been through a couple of recessions. So learn by your mistakes and move forward with it. If you're a private company, it's a little bit easier than what you are with a public company, I would say.
Of the 53 courses I understand you have either in planning or under construction, will some of those get shelved, do you think, for the time being?
I haven't seen any being shelved. I mean, I've seen shelved means shut down, we're not going to do them. I've seen just before this in one country, yes, they did shut it down, but they decided to use the golf course as high-rise buildings. So they decided not to build a golf course. But people have kind of either slowed down dramatically or shut down and waited for the economy to turn around. None of us said we're never going to build a golf course. None of us said, okay, we don't need your services anymore. It's just a matter of slowing down. So you got to react to that. You've got to pace yourself to that. So But like I said, all my pockets where we are very active today. We're talking to a group out of China. Yesterday we talked about a group out of Mexico. So there are opportunities out there. You've just got to make sure that you have a good platform to go to them with. Not just golf course design, but a lot of vertical integration that you can give to them, because people are now looking for the total package. If you can give them a total package like golf course design and Greg Norman Collection and the wine business and real estate, a little different story. It's a little bit easier to look into the future about getting some very good returns when somebody come in and package it all together. So, we have that opportunity to sit there with that. But, I would say for my business, looking at about middle of next year, fourth quarter, third quarter of this year, people are going to say, Greg, we need you to get fired back up again. We want to finish this development. Might be a 12-month process, might be a 6-month process, might be 18 months, but they're going to be ready to go when the climate comes good again.
So now, Greg, tell me, your playing career seems to have really gone through a kind of reincarnation since the Open last year. I hear recently you've got an invite to the Masters. You must be quite excited about that.
I am. I still think the Masters is the best golf tournament in the world because it's just pure golf. British Open has got all the history and all the nostalgia, and it's the home of golf. But at the same time, the Masters is just, for a golfer's standpoint, the Masters is just pure golf. So I got a lot of friends who are members there. I enjoy the structure of the golf club. I enjoy how they conduct their business. So I will enjoy going there in April to play. I'm glad I earned my way in. I'm getting myself ready the best I can. That's all I can say. I'll be 54 by the time I get there, and I've just got to manage my expectations, prepare the best I can, and we'll see what happens.
And tell me, Augusta has obviously been lengthened considerably in recent years. Do you really think you can still compete there?
I don't know. I haven't played the golf course, so it's a difficult. My mind's going to go in there with memories of where I used to hit the golf ball, no question about it. So I'm going to have to make some adjustments, no question. How I'm going to do that, I can't make a comment. I haven't played the golf course. Again, go in with low expectations. I'm not one of the top players in the world, on a week-in, week-out basis. The British Open was great. It shows that I can still do it. So you got to take that attitude, enthusiasm, and belief into that tournament, and again, keep your expectations low and go have a fun week and enjoy it.
Moving on to the environment. I know there's a number of things that you're actually contributing with. The G-Tech shirt is for one. We've got a couple of plastic bottles here. I know the G-Tech is, I think, made from recycled plastic bottles. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is actually, and this is part of what Greg Norman Collection is all about. We were very much on the innovative edge with Play Dry, and what people look for in a company is, okay, you're technology savvy. Okay, what is the next technological savvy fabric can you come out with? And when we come out with G-Tech, which is A, a great shirt to wear, and B, you're helping the environment, tells a lot about what this company's all about. Now, I'm very much that way with my golf course design jobs. I'm the chairman of the advisory board for the Environmental Institute for Golf, so I have a lot of tentacles into what I believe what you should do to the environment. Everybody is responsible for protecting this world, and we belong to the planet doesn't belong to us. So you've got to give back to some degree, and Greg Norman Collection is doing that with their G-Tech shirt.
And that's a golf shirt, but also I understand from some of your grasses, the Aussie Green, for example, uses less pesticide, less water.
Well, again, one of the commodities is probably going to be the most valuable commodity in the next 20, 25, 30, 40 years is water. So we see that right now, and we're not the only ones. There's a lot of people out there doing it, but you have to try and build a better mousetrap. Golf courses use a lot of water, no question. We use a lot of acreage of turf. So therefore, how do we help the situation? How do we find the right type of grass that suits the environment? If it's a very dry environment, like in the deserts, you have to be able to use less water. So that grass has got to be able to adapt to that. So we do that. We go out there and find the right grass, and we go out there and we license it and we sell it, and we've done very well out of it.
And in terms of golf courses that you have designed in the desert, one that's opening very recently, the Earth Golf Course.
Yeah.
Are you excited about that?
Very much so. They just had a function there last week. There were a couple of tour players from the European Tour were there. Sergio Garcia was there, Justin Leonard. I can't remember. There were about 5 or 6 players there, and they were all raving about the golf course, how different it looked for a desert golf course. There's nothing like it out there, and that was my intention. Because when you go to a desert course, everything looks the same. We knew this golf course was going to be the home for the the Road to Dubai Golf Tournament Championship at the end of this year. So we had to build something that was classical, something that would challenge the players in the world, but also something that was adaptable to the residential community that's going to live there. So, you know, it turned out to be magnificent. I can't wait to play it. I don't say that about too many of my golf courses. You know, you build them and you open them, but I'm really looking forward to playing it. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the players play it, because I did massage it to some degree for the tournament, but I didn't do a lot to change the golf course from my initial routing to where we are today for the tournament. So, you know, I just like the reports coming back, and everybody's giving it the thumbs up. So let's just see what happens.
Well, I'll be honest, I can't wait to play it as well.
Well, you'll have to give me a report.
Well, I certainly will. In terms of the economic situation, you know, globally, Dubai, you know, we're there at the moment in the Dubai Desert Classic. A little bit concerning. How do you see Dubai going? I know you've been very close to Dubai in a lot of your projects. What's coming next?
Well, in Dubai specifically?
Specifically.
I think Dubai is probably going to have a few bumpy roads ahead of them. You know, anybody or any company that grows that fast, that quickly, that big, you know, is going to have some problems, because you're going to miss out on a few things going forward. And I don't know what their financial situation is. I don't think anybody will truly get a grasp of all of that. But at the same time, they'll come out of it, because A, they have a great destination. They have a great product there, because when you think about where Dubai is located, you've got 450 million people to the north and northwest. So the Europeans who are getting covered in snow want to drop down somewhere that they're going to have some fun in the sun and lie on the beach. So the GCC area is just prime for that right now. Dubai was a cutting edge. They were the ones out. Sheikh Mohammed says, I'm going to create Dubai as a destination. He did it, okay? In creating that, he might have to weather a few rough years, but he's going to pop out the other end just doing fine, like everybody will. And as for that whole area, I think the success to some degree of Dubai is now rubbing off in Oman, is rubbing off in Abu Dhabi, is rubbing off in Qatar, is rubbing off in Bahrain. So that whole area is being brought to life. And if you went back there 25 years ago, there was nothing there. So somebody had to be the leader of the pack. And Sheikh Mohammed has done a great job. Dubai has done a phenomenal job. And everybody else coming behind them now has a job to either emulate or go beyond and improve on what Dubai's done. So that tells you that GCC area, flush with natural gas, flush with oil, flush with, in a lot of ways, capitalism, because they like what the success that happened. So they'll come out very, very strong as you go forward. The next best thing about Dubai is what happens to the east, is India. And India is going to be looking at Dubai and being sucked into Dubai as a place to go. So when you have a population and a democratic country like that expanding and growing at the rate they're going, India is going to be a great hub, a great destination that I know we're going to be focusing on, not only for Greg Norman Collection, but my companies for the next 15, 20 years.
Now, the last Democratic president, I know you're a close friend of, and golfing partner of too. Can we expect you to be giving any lessons to President Obama?
I don't know. I heard he plays a little bit of golf, but we'll see. I mean, I know there'll be an opportunity through the President's Cup. I think you know, the President's Cup is obviously all the past presidents have been involved with it. So being the captain of the international team, I'm sure I'll have an opportunity to meet him. Whether I ever get to play golf with him, I don't know. Be interesting to see how good a player he is. He's a fit guy. I like to see the fact that he works out and dedicates part of his time of the day to go work out, get on the treadmill, lift weights. So, you know, he's a good leader in that regard for the fitness regime. But for Americans, believe me, a lot of Americans could look up to him from a fitness standpoint. So I hope he keeps playing golf. I don't know whether he's going to have a whole lot of time, especially the first 100 days. I think he's got a few more important things on his plate to get sorted out before he plays a little bit of golf from the White House.
Sure, that's true. Well, Greg, in what is a fairly dismal economic climate at the moment, it's great to speak to somebody so positive, and as always, you're forward-looking. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Enjoyed it.
Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it.